Hey guys, John here with Longs Anytime Fitness. Today I wanted to bring you a nutritional video, and I'm actually bringing it to you from my own kitchen before I eat breakfast. So what I want to show you is what I've been doing since about October of last year that has helped me shed 30 pounds of body fat, and without sacrificing really any muscle at all to do so. So what I discovered was what was going to work best for me is going to be eating the same thing every day. If I can do that, I can control my factor of calories in and calories out much better. So 5 to 6 days a week, I eat exactly the same meals. Same 3 meals every day, same 2 protein shakes every day. And based on what I'm doing at that time in the gym, what my goal is fluctuation of adding or subtracting other foods. But it's always the same things. Those 5 to 6 days is the same things. Those are what I control. Now, I still have a family. We're involved in a ton of sports. Obviously, I run a business. So there are other factors that I allow leeway with, okay? So maybe I don't eat as much during the week as I could if I ate exactly the same thing every day, all 7 days a week, no matter what. But I like the leeway, like being able to have a social life, and I'm sure you do too. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I eat every day and how they're prepared. So the first thing I do every Sunday is I smoke about 12 pounds of steak. I buy the sirloin caps from Costco, makes it a little bit cheaper, and I just cut the fat off myself. Every day, 3 times a day, I weigh out 150 grams of steak, and that goes to my meal for that time. Something else that I do every single day for breakfast, I add in 2 eggs. I have a medium tomato. I have 111 grams of onion. I have 148 grams of multicolored blue peppers and 30 grams of spinach. Now you're wondering out why do I have to weigh out the vegetables? It's not for calories. What it is so I actually know how much fiber I'm actually getting in. So it's the serving size of each is what I just named off, and that allows me to make sure I know I'm getting the right amount of fiber. And again, I can always raise or subtract those, and I do it by measuring it. So my breakfast and my dinner are pretty much the exact same meals, except dinner doesn't have the eggs. Now with lunch, what I do is I will still use a little bit of the onions, but I will use 4 slices of sourdough bread. That is my carbohydrates for the day that is outside the vegetables. And the reason I do that right now is because that controls the factor of how much I'm eating, when I'm eating it, and carbohydrates are the easiest things to raise or lower when it comes to either losing weight, maintaining weight, or gaining weight. I have found that is the simplest thing to add in and subtract, and that's the only reason I use carbohydrates that way, just because of the simplicity of that. But beyond that, if I'm gaining weight or if I want to maintain weight, I add in a bunch more fruit and I add in rice, but I keep everything else the same. My other protein source in the day, as you see in the back there, is the steak shake. That is my favorite protein shake right now. It is a blend of protein of beef, egg, and whey. It also has a few nutrients in there from organs, from liver, kidney, heart, and everything like that. Another thing that is a big factor is electrolytes. So twice a day I fill this up with water and electrolytes to make sure that I am having all those in. For me personally, it helps with satiation, because that's what sodium actually can help with that. And then cramping. With as much as I work out, as much as I sweat, cramping can be a very big deal for me. And that is something that helps tremendously with that. So that's what I eat every day. It seems a little boring, but I promise you it tastes really good. I use different seasonings on each steak that's in there. I use other seasonings in the pan as I cook as well. So you don't have to have flavorless food just because you're going boring with it. And as you see, you don't have to just go eat chicken and broccoli. You can find a way for yourself to get enough protein in every day, enough fiber in every day, and the proper amount of fats and carbohydrates every day, so that you can be in a calorie deficit You can still work out, have enough energy, have great energy throughout the day. My energy has never been better, and I completely contribute that to changing my diet. Changing my diet back to what I did about 5, 6 years ago has worked tremendous for me, and my body has gone back to where it was 5 or 6 years ago when doing that. So that is one of those things that I think we forget about when it comes to food. We get into this psychological trance with food about how it tastes, who's making it, what restaurant am I going to, especially living here down at the beach. And we lose sight of what it's actually doing to us. We're okay a pounder here being added on, but then that compounds. And then you're 30 pounds heavier than what you were 5 years ago. So that's where I was at. And now I'm back down to the weight that I was when I moved here 6 years ago. And I feel fantastic. My body is responding great. I've changed my way of working out. I still have a lot of compounding injuries from things that I've done to myself in the past. But having a nutrition like this allows me to still stay steady with it. Allows me to heal a little quicker from things too. So my control factor is what's the most important. I'm controlling what is going into my body 5 to 6 days a week at every single meal, and I know it. And it's prepared. So if I'm coming home from coaching one of my daughter's softball games, which are different times 2 days a week. One time we're coming home between 6:30 and 7. Another time we're coming home between 7:30 and 8. But I know what food is waiting for me there. It's a tremendous contributing factor to my health. And when it comes to my health markers, my blood markers have never been better. So for all of you that are afraid of red meat, I highly suggest eating it. It's incredible for you. It does not harm you. And as you get older, you actually need more protein, not less in your diet. We want to make sure that we can do everything we can to keep ourselves in health. If you don't like red meat, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just my personal preference. If you're somebody that does like chicken, which personally I'm burnt out on, don't want to have another chicken breast ever again. So those are things that you need to factor in when preparing for yourself. Don't force yourself to eat something you don't like. Find things that you like that actually are going to contribute to a healthier lifestyle. Now, if that means you need to change your palate because you kind of eat like a kid, then that's something you're going to have to address. It is something that your mind is powerful enough to overcome. You just have to be willing to do it. So there are a lot of factors that people try to implement when it comes to a healthy diet. But usually what that does is overcomplicates things. Let's simplify it. Let's make it very simple for you to follow. What do you like? What can you eat day in and day out? What can you eat to make it so that when you go out for dinner on Friday or Saturday night, that you don't feel guilty afterwards, but you also don't binge? So we don't want to overly deprive ourselves, even though we are trying to control calories, because calories in, calories out is the only way that your body actually loses body fat. If you're on a specific diet and say, I didn't have calories at all, it was still because calories in, calories out. So those are the factors that you need to play with. If there's a specific diet, if it's carnivore, if it's vegetarian or vegan, make sure you get enough protein in, amino acids in if you are on that. If it's a balanced diet, if you prefer higher carbs, lower fat, higher fat, lower carbs, whatever it is, the main contributing factor is that calories in, calories out is what's going to really give you the only benefit of losing weight. If we also add controlling for protein for that, then we make sure we at the very least don't lose muscle mass as we lose weight. You don't want to do that. If we add more fiber in, we actually learn that we can be more satiated because we actually get a bunch of bulk from the food that we're eating without getting a ton of calories too. So there are a lot of things that you can learn to control, which is going to contribute to you losing that body fat. The easiest way to control what you eat is going to be using a scale. If you don't have a scale, go get one. You can get one for $12-15 at Walmart. This one I got offline because it's got a cool little feature that if I wanted to, I could program what I'm weighing into it and then just select that in the program. And then every weight change, it will tell me the exact micronutrient, macronutrient breakdown, and then the calorie breakdown as well. I don't use that feature. but that's something you do. Technology is our friend here. Okay. Another thing, there's so many apps out there that help you track how much you're eating as long as you put it in properly. So that's where weighing comes in. But the app I use, I only use it for every diet change. So I only have to use it a few times a year. But what I put into it is every time my diet changes for whatever my goal is changing for, I do that to get my calorie count, get my calorie balance proper. I do it to know what foods I'm going to eat at, what weight I'm going to eat everything at. And then I just repeat every single day. It makes it so much easier. It also makes it easier to prepare. So preparation doesn't have to be the pack every single meal and have it stacked in the fridge like I used to do, which became a really big hassle, and we have a ton of Tupperware now because of it. But cutting up and having a piece of Tupperware full of onions, a piece of Tupperware full of bell peppers, making sure I always have a full package of spinach. All I gotta do is stop and grab a pack of sourdough bread. My protein shakes I have on auto reorder. And then the only thing that I have to travel for is I go to Costco for my meat. And my eggs, actually, because they have great free range age there. Eggs, hey, look, nature's prepackaged food. Tomato, nature's prepackaged food. An orange, an apple, a banana, same thing. This does not take a ton of time at all. Great thing about the way I cook this smoker, I prep it, which takes about 20 minutes. I throw it on the smoker, forget about it for 2 hours, and then I just put it in large Tupperware. So none of this takes that much time. If I needed to and I was going to travel, I could cut this up, which I don't like to cut it up until I'm going to eat it personally, but that's just me. But I can cut this up and have it in my servings. I can individually take these and put them into servings. I could hard boil these and take these along. So these are different things to do. I can make myself sandwiches to go. Protein shake obviously can go anywhere. Electrolytes can go anywhere. None of this is hard. None of this is difficult. But most people want to try to act like that it is. And the reason being for that is because we become so consumed with our convenience when it comes to food. We can go to any restaurant. You can go in minutes just through a drive-through, or if you're willing to spend the time, you can spend a couple of hours at a restaurant. Also, how many of you are willing to pay the extra charge for Uber Eats, for DoorDash, things like that, that sometimes double or triple with the cost of whatever you're getting? And usually whatever you're getting isn't that healthy anyway. It's very, very hard to get actually healthy food from restaurants. And the reason I say that is because you don't know the calorie count. You don't know the macronutrient count of that. It's all a guess. None of those calories that are in any of those menus are accurate. That's why there's such a broad range. And on top of that, they're allowed to be off. On normal packaging in the United States, the normal nutrition facts in the United States, a company is allowed to be 20% off plus or minus on those nutrition facts. So something that says it's 100 calories can actually either be 120 calories or 80, which then breaks down differently when it comes to the macronutrients that those calories are coming from. So it is much better for you to, yes, eat whole foods, eat things that are a little more controlled, but weigh it. That's the most important part. Know exactly how much you're going to eat. Okay? Another contributing factor to weight loss results that has now been studied and is out there. I highly suggest you follow a guy named Layne Norton. He puts all of these studies out there very clearly. But one thing that we've seen is that most people that are successful with weight loss, now weight loss success, what I mean by that is losing it and keeping it off, or people that have never had a weight problem at all, the one major contributing factor of that success is that they don't snack. They definitely don't plan snacks. All they do is they eat what they have to eat, and that's it. So if you think you have to eat 6-7 meals a day, you're going to be pretty stressed out about it. If you're fasting, you're going through intermittent fasting, a lot of times what we're going to see with that is as that continues on and on and on, you're eventually going to have a lot of binge sessions, or you're going to eat a meal, eat a snack, eat a meal, eat a snack, and somehow you're going to compress that into 6 hours. So if we find the balance, if we know exactly what we're going to put in, we know it's already prepared, that creates a proper convenience for us of us being able to control all the factors that we need to control when it comes to our diets. So my suggestion for everybody that I want you all to leave this with is, number one, find foods that are actually going to satisfy you. Find ways to cook them that are healthy. Weigh them. Okay? And if this video was not enough for that, if you don't have the knowledge, go find one of us coaches, one of us nutrition coaches that can help you. If you have an idea of what you want to do, give it a try. If it doesn't work, ask questions. The more questions you ask, the more knowledge that you can gain, and that'll actually contribute to better success. You don't have to go buy macadamia nuts and have them sitting around everywhere. You don't have to go buy the most expensive cultured yogurts. You don't have to have a green shake. You don't have to do all of those little things. What you have to do is control what you're actually eating. Those little things, those little fillers for gaps, those things only matter if you're already at a state that now you need to do really minute things to get even more body fat off. To be somebody that, instead of a decent looking six pack, you have a shredded six pack, which shouldn't be your goal anyway, because our goal, number one, should be health. Your individual body is going to reflect that a little bit different. Some of us are going to carry 12% body fat at a healthy level. Some of us are going to carry 5 to 8% body fat, which is incredibly rare, actually. For women, you're going to have 18 to 22% body fat and be healthy. So those are the things that we kind of want the vanity to get out of this, and we want our health to come into it. But if you're not controlling factors, you're not controlling your health. Another big thing that I always tell people is eliminate calories from drinks. Number one, big estimate on those. So if you're somebody that likes Starbucks, if you like alcohol, if you like regular soda, those kind of things, take them out. With the exception of maybe a protein shake, really take anything out. If anything you're getting out, don't add it. If you're a big juice lover, take it out for a little bit. What if you're drinking 1,000 calories worth of juice every week and don't even know it? You take that out, and just from taking that out, you lose a couple of pounds in a month and nothing else changed. These are tiny little contributing factors that we have to look at. There is nothing to blame for weight gain than overconsumption of calories. And there is nothing to blame for weight loss than under consumption of calories. So what is it that you're willing to control? What is it that you want to put in to actually seeing the results you want to see? If you're seeing this video, you're probably a member of ours, or a member of ours has shared it. Hopefully you have found us. We hope to get this out past all of our members in the future as well. But more than likely, you're at the gym for a reason. You joined the gym for a reason. If you're not at ours and you're at a different gym, you joined that one for a reason. If you have a personal trainer, you have them for a reason. But are you using everything in your house to help you? If you're at the gym or with a trainer, maybe an hour of your day. But how does your kitchen counter look when you go to cook? How does that plate look when you go to eat? So these are the things that we know we can control, and these are the things that we want to control. If we are trying to look successfully for weight loss, for muscle gain, which is very important, they should go together, and then also seeing our health markers get better. If you're a little bit older, if you're in 50s, 60s, 70s, how do you feel a little more youthful? If you're in your 30s and you're feeling incredibly broken down, you shouldn't. You're not old, okay? These are things that we want to affect positively, and if we change our diets first, if we change our way of living that way first, we will start to affect them positively. So these are just a few tips of mine. You don't have to eat exactly what I'm eating, but I highly suggest that you find things that fit a pattern for you that lead to your success. Control the amount of protein. If you don't know how much that is, ask. control the amount of fiber. If you don't know how much something has fiber in it, Google it. It's a great, use the resources around you. Okay, you can always educate yourself in a pretty simple way when it comes to this stuff, when it comes to how much is in a certain weight of things. And again, I highly suggest that everybody learns to weigh things in grams. It makes things so much easier. You don't have to go back and forth in ounces and grams. But these are things that, it takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of work. But in the amount of time that I've been speaking to you is how much time it pretty much takes me to prep, with the exception of waiting for my meat to cook every Sunday to prep for the week. That's it. So these are factors that you want to play in for yourself. In your own kitchen, are you doing the right things? So ask yourself that. If not, then find one of us nutrition coaches that can actually help you. If you're a member of the gym and you haven't picked it up, on your way out of the gym next to the exit, there is a nutrition starter guide. So if you need help, it's a very simple starter guide to help you out with that. Gives you a lot of things that I just explained here today, a few tips and tricks in there as well to help you get started. This is also the first video of our new YouTube page. So if you could, like and subscribe and share this with friends and get them to follow as well. And thank you all who are a part of our gym. Thank you all who have watched, and have a blessed day.